Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to go over some questions people have asked me regarding the Pandoras Box version 3. Now here we are. This is my cabinet, my well, I don't know if you want to call it dedicated, but this is where I play my Pandoras Box games. And right now it's dark. I'm in the garage. Got a little echo going on here. But some of the things I want to go over, is, like I said, just some questions I've been asked. Some of this information has been gone over with one of my very first videos on the Pandoras Box version 3. But nonetheless, we'll go over it again. So just sit back and enjoy. Okay, so here we are. We're at the game selection menu. Now, here's one thing I want to point out. Apparently, there are multiple versions of the Pandoras Box version 3. Some people have told me that on their Pandoras Box, the games associated with the numbers you see on the left-hand side here are not the same. So, you know, I guess you could say it's like version, or, you know, Pandoras Box version 3, revision 1, whatever. I'm not sure what revision you guys have. As far as myself, I have I guess it would be the first revision of version 3. So things for the most part should be the same. They may not totally be the same, but let's get to it. Now, someone wanted to know how authentic this looks as a video game with functionality. Kind of wrap your head around that. They wanted to see if the intro to the games loop like they do on a normal cabinet. So I've tried some games and it seems to do just as it should. So let me go ahead and I'll show you what I mean. I'll go ahead and enter a credit. Now, first things first. As soon as you enter a credit, you see this timer up here? It starts clicking down. Now, if it gets all the way to 0, whatever game is highlighted, that game will automatically load. If you want to reset the timer, because maybe you haven't quite decided on which game you want, then you got to enter another credit. But let's go to one of my favorite games of all time, Super Street Fighter 2X Grandmaster Challenge. Let's go ahead and move this over just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and let this timer go all the way down, and you can see how it'll automatically load the game. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, there, it automatically loaded, and it gives you 1 credit. You can't see it. Let's see, because the way I have my camera, right there, you can see in the lower right hand corner, 1 credit. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you selected this game and you made an error. So you want to back out and go to the main menu. Well, you can do that a variety of ways. However, once you do that, you're going to lose your credit. So you see I have 1 credit right there. So let me go ahead and back out. Huh. I stand corrected. It looks like you still do have your credit. The timer is ticking down. That's something different from version 2. I never really, went over that before because I didn't need to, but yeah, okay. So I stand corrected. You select a game, it's the wrong game. As long as you don't press start, you can back out and you'll still have your credit. So let's just go ahead and start this game. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and get defeated here. That way we can see if it actually loops back. And we're just gonna hurry up. Trying to see if I can play one-handed. Alright, so. Now, let's see if it acts the way it does in a normal arcade board.
9, 8, 7, 6, 2.
Alright, so there we are. We're down to 0. Now let's see if it reloops, and it does. Now one thing you'll notice is right now there's no background music. For the most part, the games play pretty good. They're not perfect. But if you don't want to pay top dollar for the original hardware in some cases, as I said before, there's a great alternative. So there, as you can see, from a distance, it looks like an authentic Grandmaster Challenge arcade cabinet. Not going to insert any coins. Let's see if it continues to go through its normal loop. So far, it's acting the exact same way official hardware should be acting, with the exception of right now there's no sound. And that's more likely just because of the initial settings for this particular game on the Pandora's box. So, now let's go to the next set of questions I'm hoping to answer. Okay, so now here we are at the menu settings. Now, normally there is some background music that plays. It's a nice symphony ballad. The problem is I'm not going to have it playing because if I do and I load this video onto YouTube, it's going to get muted due to copyright infringement. But it is a nice symphony tune, so I wish I could put it up, but I just can't. So, you got your I/O test. Your instructions are right here. Use the joystick up and down, press A is okay. It'll tell you, depending on what you want to do, A, B, C, or D, and A is to think of it as a light punch, B, medium punch, C, fierce punch, and D, light kick. So, you got your I/O test, which is just that. It's an I/O test. Nothing fancy, but there you are. Return, press A plus start. Alright. Next is your credit settings. And by pressing the A button, you can change it. 2 credits, 1 play, 3 credits, 1 play, 1 credit, 2 plays, etc. Not that very many settings, but these are the settings for all the games on the Pandora's Box version 3, so there's not much you can do. Okay, exit game mode. There's a variety of ways to exit your game to return to the main menu. The way I chose is start plus coin. I press the start button, plus I add a credit, and it'll take me from the game back to the game menu selection screen. You can also select menu, and what that means is there's a button on the Pandora's box itself. You press that button and it'll take you to the menu screen. Okay, looks like that's it. Just 2 options. Me, I'm choosing start plus coin. Auto exit. Right now I have this as off. Now, you can see we got different options. After 3 minutes, off. After 3 minutes, off. I think on version 2 it had a couple more selections, like 2 minutes and 1 minute. So if you do this and put after 3 minutes, what that does is if you're loaded onto a game, let's just say any game, and even though it's looping, if there is no button inputs pressed within 3 minutes, at 3 minutes and 1 second, the game will return to the game selection menu. It will exit that particular game. So it really doesn't matter if you know which game you want and you're playing it and you're constantly playing it. It doesn't matter. It does matter if you decide to leave the cabinet on. Let's just say I want this to look like an authentic Grandmaster Challenge cabinet. After 3 minutes, if nobody played it, it would go back to the game selection menu and people would see that it's not authentic. So I just press off So you can leave it on for a long time and it will not exit the game. Okay, select game mode. With coin, any. With coin, any. Basically, you highlight the game you want. You want to play that game. I selected to start with the coin button. Start, it should say. I don't know why it says coin, but it should say start button. Or, I guess with any button is this option. So, bookkeeping. We got some bookkeeping right here. You can see there's been 430 plays inputted. Bookkeeping. I guess you can enter a password so you can get into more details. I never did that. There's really no reason for you to get into it. Save settings and reboot. Obviously, it makes you change your settings. You select this, it'll save those settings and reboot the Pandoras Box version 3. Or factory settings and reboot, and it'll go back to the factory settings. Now, game configuration. Let's get into that. So, here we can select the different configurations for each game. These are not, I repeat, they are not exact replications of the authentic hardware. For example, let's go to my favorite game. Where is it? Okay. Super Street Fighter 2X Grandmaster Challenge. Press A for difficulty and lives. Where we go? Oops, there we go. See, it's changing 2, 4, 6. Kind of doesn't make sense with a fighting game, but I'll show another game. Sorry, that's totally wrong. The difficulty does make sense. I just set it to regular 4. If you look, there's no lives. The reason is it doesn't make sense for a fighting game. Unified set. What is that? I don't know. Press the button. Nothing happened. Okay, D, go back. Now, edit games list. Well, let's go to some more settings. Let's find a side scroller. Something we all love. Let's go back. Trying to find Final Fight. I don't know which number. Alright, let's go right here. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. It's actually Turtles in Time. So, A, difficulty and lives. Press A again. We can change our difficulty level. Seems to be the same in every single game. 2, 4, 6, 8. Lives. Right now it's at 3. We can change it to 4, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 3. Let's see what unified set does on this one. Doesn't do anything. So back again. So as you can see, the settings are extremely limited. Let's go to aliens. Same thing again. So really, the only thing you can do are the difficulty of the games and, in some cases, the number of lives you get. Volume level is controlled via the Pandora's box itself. And that's really all you can do. Now, edit games list. Let's go ahead and go to that. You can see right there, display games 520, total games 520. What that means is there's 520 games on there, and I got them all showing. So let's say you only wanted to have Capcom games, or let's just say all you wanted were Street Fighter games. Champion Edition, Grandmaster Challenge, Hyper, Dash, Hyper Anniversary, whatever. What you do, you got A, display hide. So you see Mutation Nation? You see how it's now grayed out? If I save these settings, when I go back into the game select screen, Mutation Nation will not be there. Let's say it's grayed out and I want it. We press it again. There it is. Now, let's say you take half the games out and you don't want to go 1 through 1 to restore them all. Press B, display all games. So we'll just do this. There, I just took, what was it, 7 games out. Let's say I want to get them all back really quick. Press B. They're all displayed again. C, hide all games. Why you would want to do that, I don't know, but it will hide every single game on the Pandora's box. Maybe you only want a couple games displayed, so you automatically hide them all and then just unhide the ones you want. And D is to go back. So let's see. Let's find something else here. Neo Turf Masters. Let's see what we got here. Well, let's get out of here first. Alright, difficulty and lives. There's a sports game. Same thing. Lives, it really doesn't count because, you know, it's not exactly a side scroller. But there you are. So hopefully this answered some of the questions people, maybe you yourself may have been having. There's really not much more to say here. Let's just go B. Let's hide all games. And as you can see, now they're all hidden. Maybe the only game I want on this Pandora's box is Pac-Man. So we'll display it. When you start the game up again, this will be the only game that you can select. We'll just now, there we are. We got all 120 or 520. Let's hide them all. Display games 0, total games 520. Let's highlight Pac-Man. Display games 1, Pac-Man, total games 520. So there you are. You know, not much more to say here. It's a nice multi-cart. I personally recommend it. You're going to be paying with shipping anywhere, I'd say, between $85 on the low end to $130, maybe even $150 on the high end. I like it. Of course, you got hardcore arcade collectors who are bad-mouthing it and saying it's a piece of crap and it doesn't belong in the hobby, which is very weird because you would think these hardcore collectors would like this so that regular people, you know, would be more inclined to buy this rather than buy up the precious authentic boards that hardcore collectors, you know, don't want anybody to have. But, you know, hey, it's a great multi-cart. It's not authentic hardware. You're missing a whole bunch of settings, but for what you pay for it and what you get, I think it's very much worth it. The CPS2 games alone on here, it's worth it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a DarkSoft multi-CPS2 kit, and you know the only thing you're interested in are CPS2 games, get the DarkSoft kit. That thing is badass. That makes this look like crap. But maybe you can't afford a DarkSoft kit, then definitely go for this. It's a great multi-cart. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it, you know, an 8. So there you are. If you have any questions, let me know. And, well, that's it. Until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.